Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing spooky season and we are going to be doing a kind of glam glitter clown look. I have a bunch of products laid out in front of me and this is going to be so exciting. I have an idea in mind of what I'd like to do and I really hope that it comes out the way that I want it to. So without having a extremely long intro, guys, let's go ahead and get started. I am again going to be using some products that I haven't used before in this, and I really hope that you guys like it. All right, guys, let's continue with spooky season. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the brows. Now I do have all three of my brow products right in front of me, so we are going to be using all three of them today. They are all going to be from Benefit as well. The first product that I'm going to be using is Cabral in shade number 5. Looks just like this. And I primarily use this to fill from about halfway to the tail of my brows, and then we're gonna go in with the pencil. So I'm just using the little bristle that comes on it. Now this is gonna be the mini, so it's not gonna be too big. So it does take me a little bit longer to do them just because the brush is so small. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I only fill about that much with the pomade. Now I'm going in with precisely my brow in shade number 4. And I'm just going to start drawing little hair-like strokes at the beginning of my brow and blend it in with the rest of it. Now that we have that brow filled in, we're gonna go in with Gimme Brow Plus in shade number 5, and we're just gonna go ahead and set the brows in place as well as provide a little bit of extra tint. Alright guys, now I'm gonna go ahead and do my other brow off camera and I will be right back. Now both of my brows are on and we are going to go ahead and carve them out. Now to carve out my brows, I'm going in with my e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. And I'm just going to be using the same brush that I usually do, which is just going to be one like this. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of the concealer right on the back of my hand. And we are going to go ahead and carve out the brows. Carving out your brows always looks so crazy, especially if you use, like I do, in using a foundation or a concealer that's significantly lighter. But it looks a lot nicer and cleaner. I'm just gonna go in with a little beauty sponge and kind of blend out the edges so that it's not going to be like a super harsh line on it. Now it is still a pretty harsh line, that's okay. When we go in and actually do foundation and everything, it'll blend out. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and go in and prime my eyes. To do that, I'm going to be using my Anastasia eye primer. So I'm just going to put a little bit of it on the tip of my finger. And even though this is a mini size, there's a lot that comes in here. I'm just gonna kind of tap that on with my finger. And then I'm taking in the primer kind of up to the bridge of my nose so that way it blends in a little easier. And I'm gonna go in and do this side. All right, so now we've got the brows carved out and my eyelids are primed. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our eyeshadow. Now I'm using 2 different palettes today. They're not new palettes, but they're new to me. So I'm going to be the Huda Beauty Neon Obsessions in the orange and pink palettes. So we're gonna do something that's gonna be like a little bit cute and flirty. Now, you guys know, I've been really into doing the sharp edges on my eyeshadow looks lately. So, you know what that means. We're gonna take our washi tape and put some right on the corner of our eyes. So now we are up close and personal, guys. Hi, how you doing? So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm so excited for this. So I think I want to go a little bit more to like, I've been doing purple so much lately, guys. But it's so pretty. I'm still gonna go with like purple, but that's okay. So first I want to go in with a big fluffy brush, and I want to kind of lay a base color. So I think to do that, I'm gonna go in with, okay, well there's no names on these shades, so I'm gonna go in with this one. And I'm going to primarily focus this one right up here. So I just put it on a brush like this, and we're gonna start to blend it on. And this is just to give a nice transition. So I'm just gonna keep kind of blending it until I get a nice base going. Okay, now just to remind everybody who doesn't remember, or just to inform people who do not know, typically pinks, purples, reds, shades like that are gonna be considered pressed pigments versus actual eyeshadows. So this does mean that there is gonna be a small amount of staining. So just kind of be aware when you're using a shade like that, that is potential for it to stain a little bit. Okay, so I have that pink shade on pretty nicely. Now I want to go in with a smaller brush. So I'm going to be going in with the Morphe M506, which looks just like this. And I think I want to go in, with my darkest shade first. So I'm still going into the Neon Pink Obsessions, and I'm going in with this shade right here. Now for this one, I want to focus it kind of in the crease area actually, because I want to have that nice kind of depth difference. Now I'm not seeing any form of like kickback in the pan. I don't have any fallout or anything like that, so that's good. Now I'm just kind of going on and packing and blending. This is blending really nicely. I'm not having any form of patchiness. It's not sticking in any spots. It's actually blending in really nicely with that little baby pink that I put above it. Now I want to go in with, I think I want to go in with this shade right here from the Neon Orange palette. And I want to kind of stamp that on my outer corner. I think all of these shadows blend so nicely together. Like, I'm having no problem with blending them. And now I'm kind of like blending it up into the crease as well, just to give it a more seamless transition. I have my outer corners done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start fading inwards. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little bit. Hello. We're very close to my face. So now that we are up close and personal, I want to go in to the Pink Obsessions palette, and I really want to use this shade right here. And I'm gonna go back in with that Morphe M506 and just kind of coat the brush. Oh. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of coat the brush. And then I'm gonna place this right at the edge of this. So this shadow doesn't show up that well. This one actually shows up pretty late. So yeah, that one was a lot lighter than what I was wanting. So now I'm gonna go in with a shimmer shade, and I think like, I really like this one right here. So I am gonna go ahead and kind of do a little partial cut crease just so I can put this right over it. I went and grabbed the concealer that I need to be able to cut my crease. So I'm going to be using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in shade Fair 00. I'm going to be putting just a little bit of that on my hand. And then I'm just gonna go in with a small brush like this one. Let's see, focus, there we go. I'm just gonna go with a brush like that because I'm only gonna be cutting like primarily the inner corner of my eye to about the halfway mark. So let's go ahead and do this. Now I have my inner corners cut. I'm gonna go ahead and go back in with that first shade that I was using right here. And I'm gonna just take it on my finger again and let's try to tap it over it. Hopefully this time it'll show up a little bit better. Okay, so this shade does actually apply a little bit better with a brush than with your finger. Now that we have the inner corners done, we are gonna go back in with this shade and this shade. So we're gonna mix these two and place it right next to the shimmer. The last thing we're gonna do for right this second is we're gonna go ahead and do some winged liner. Now you guys know that I've really been favoring the new Hank & Henry Slick With It in shade Blickety Black, which looks like this. I was just holding it upside down. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do some quick wing liner. Now, one thing that I do want to do and go ahead and get out of the way is I'm going to exfoliate my lips and put a little bit of plumper on them. Now, to do that, I am actually going to be using the Gloss for Life X Blonde Beauty Lip Scrub. This one is going to be in Strawberry Lemonade, and it looks like this. Now, I have used this one before. It smells amazing. And, you know, like, you're not supposed to taste these things, but it tastes kind of good too. So I'm just going to kind of get a pretty good amount of it on my finger, and I'm going to scrub it all over my lips, and then I'm going to take a makeup remover wipe and just wipe it off. So the reason that I did that before doing my foundation and everything else is because with this look, I do want my lips to be a little bit bigger, a little bit poutier. And I find that using a exfoliant and my lip plumper beforehand does help with that. Now, my lips aren't small, but doing this does just give them a little extra oomph. So I did go ahead and exfoliate. Now I'm going to put some plumper on, and for my plumper, I actually really like the e.l.f. one, and it looks like this. One side has a plumper and one has a primer, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the plumper on really quick. Now, also, before going in and doing the rest of my base, my skin has been extremely dry today. So instead of using my normal moisturizer, I'm going to be going in with my First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream, which looks just like this. And I'm just going to kind of put this one on. This one's going to give me a little bit more hydration to my skin itself versus my other one. So now, there is a cream product that I'm going to be using, and because of the opacity of it, I am going to use this one first. Now, I don't use this one often. Let me see. There it is. I don't use this one often, but I do use it sometimes just to kind of help define my facial features a little bit more. So, and this is actually a foundation, but it works for me as a cream bronzer. This is going to be the Milani Cream to Powder Foundation. And this is going to be in shade 05 Walnut. And it looks like this. And I'm just going to go in with a brush like this one. And we're going to just kind of stamp it right on top of the bristles first. So we're just gonna go kind of get just a little bit more on it. There's plenty of pigment with this, so go in sparingly if you're gonna use it. Now for this, I just want to kind of sharpen my jawline a little bit more. So that's gonna be my main focus areas. Now we're gonna go ahead and go in and do foundation. Now for my foundation today, I'm going to be using my Catrice 24-Hour Wear HD Liquid Coverage Foundation in shade 010 Light Beige. This has a little dropper just like this. Now I'm also using a new brush for foundation. I had to get rid of my other ones because no matter how many times I clean them, they just won't get clean. So I'm going to just kind of put it on here, and I really hope that this brush works nicely. I'm running out of this foundation, so like, I have literally 3 bottles of it sitting right here on my desk. And all 3 of them are pretty much empty. So I'm just going with the Morphe M444. It just looks like this. And I'm gonna start buffing out the foundation. I really like this brush so far. Good Lord, this is beautiful. Now, the thing that I love about this foundation so much is it has such a second skin effect. The coverage on it is so beautiful and it blends so easily as well. You can see so far I only put it on this bottom corner of my face, and this side already looks so much better than over here. So now I'm just gonna go in with some more foundation, and hopefully I'll have enough to do my whole face. Now with this one as well, I have no problem with it oxidizing or anything else. It doesn't crepe or crease. It literally gives me the most beautiful coverage and the most beautiful finish on my skin than any other foundation ever has. And this is only like $10.99, so it's not bad. And it smells pretty good too. I already like this brush a lot better than my other brushes that I've used for foundation. I feel like this one definitely, because it's more dense, it helps everything blend out so much easier. I need to get one. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with concealer. Again, I'm using my e.l.f. 16-Hour Wear Camo Concealer in shade Fair Warm. And I'm just gonna do my under eyes. And I'm gonna put some right down my nose. Right there. A little on my chin. Right here on the Cupid's bow. And then I just wanna put a little bit right there. And I'm actually gonna go in with the same brush because I really like the way that this blended out my foundation. So I'm just gonna go in with this one and buff this out. I'm gonna go with a beauty sponge, and I'm just gonna kind of blend this all in together one last time. Now I have that part done. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face using the same setting powder that I've been using, which is the Wet n Wild Photofocus Translucent Powder. And I'm just gonna quickly set my face with that. And because of how this foundation dries down, I honestly don't even have to do a lot of setting for it because it dries down pretty matte. So now I'm just gonna quickly do my lower lash line. And to do that, I'm going to use, I think I wanna go in with the hot pink and this purple shade right here. I'm gonna mix them together and just blend them into my lower lash line. now my lower lash line is done. I'm gonna go ahead and do my bronzer. Again, it's a lot of the same products right now because this is more towards the Halloween part versus just the Glam, even though it's a nice mix of both. So I'm going to go ahead and do bronzer. For that, again, I'm using my Benefit Hoola bronzer. And this is still the mini one. I have not gone up to the larger one yet because I still have a little bit of this one. So going in with my brush, swirling it around pretty good inside, tapping off the excess, and then we're gonna start like normal on the outer perimeters of my face and then go inwards. That I have done my bronzer and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and do some blush. Now for my blush today, I'm going into my Makeup Revolution Ultra Blush Palette in Sugar and Spice. And this is what it looks like. And I'm gonna go into this shade and this shade and mix them together. And I'm just going in with the normal brush that I use for my blush, which is this one. And just gonna mix them. And it's okay if it's a little bit messy because we're about to be going in, like kind of covering it. I just want to have a good blushy base going. And the nice thing about this blush is it's not like overly pigmented to a point where you can't like blend it out. But it still does give you blush and put some color back in your skin. Now, next thing we're doing before we move on to the clown portion of it is I'm gonna do some highlight. Now, before I do my highlight, you guys know, I like to spray my face with some setting spray just so it has a nice kind of wet base to stick to. So I'm going in with my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray and I'm gonna go ahead and spritz away. And then just going to lightly fan it so it's not super wet, but it is still a little bit. And then I'm going in with my Luxie brush that looks like this. And I'm going in with Jeffree Star Skin Frost in Princess Cut, which looks like this. And I'm just gonna coat it nicely on the brush and then go right over the cheekbone. So now we are going to get started with the clown part. So actually with how I want to do this look, I am going to go ahead and do my lips first. So to go ahead and get started with my lips, I'm going in with my Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner in shade Red the Scene, which looks like this. Focus, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and line my lips really quick. And then we're going to go in with some lipstick. And then we'll get started with the rest. So my lips are lined now. I'm going to go in with Jeffree Star Unicorn Blood, which this one is just the mini one. But I'm gonna start with this one and you guys will see why I'm going with this kind of shade first. And well, I mean, you guys will see. It'll look really nice. And I'm mainly gonna focus this on my outer corners. So now that I have that one on, I'm going to go in with JayJay Cosmetics in Francis. And I'm gonna put that right in the center. Alright guys, so this is the Glam portion. So you guys can kind of see this. Now let's get started with the clown. So now we are gonna go ahead and get started with the clown portion of it. this part's gonna be pretty fun and pretty interesting to do. So how I think I wanna go about this is first I wanna start with kind of like pulling the lips out just a little bit. But I have to be pretty careful with how I do that because my base is already done. So I'm just gonna go in with the same lip liner that I used already, and I'm just going to kind of start to go outwards with it. So now we have the lines drawn. Obviously you can see like over here, I did a couple little mistakes, but that's okay because I went in and kind of adjusted it. Now, because I want to keep the darker portion going out, I'm going to go back in with unicorn blood, and I'm just going to kind of fill in the little empty space. Going in with my Hank and Henry one, and I'm going to do it very slowly and just go upwards. Down, and I'm going to put it right up top of the both of the lines. And to stick it down, I'm just going to be using some lash glue. So alright guys, so I have made a spur of the moment decision to add some glitter to my look. So I'm going to be using the shade Devil's Cherry by JayJay Cosmetics. And how I think I want to do this is, I think I'm just going to have it kind of like fade down from my eyes to my lips. So first I'm going to take the tape off that's securing this. And then I use lash glue 99% of the time for sticking things to my face. Glitter glue doesn't really work the best. Lash glue is super adhesive. So I'm just going to start over here, and I'm just really going to like make it thicker and then kind of fade it out towards the bottom. So I have a pretty good amount of glitter glue or lash glue right there. So now I'm going to open up my glitter, and then I'm going to take a little packer brush like this one, and I'm going to get some glitter on it, and we're going to start pressing it on. Alright guys, so you all know that glitter is a dangerous thing to play with. It gets everywhere. If you're gonna use it, be careful. Now, before anything else, we're gonna go ahead and do our lashes, just before it's like way too late to do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my lashes on really quick, and to do that I'm using Sunflower by Nature Lashes. Okay, so I have finished my lashes and put on some mascara. For my mascara, I used my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. Now, we're gonna go finish with glitter. This will be the finished look, guys. I really hope that you like it. I think it looks really great. If you guys have other ideas of videos that you would like to see from me for spooky week or spooky season anyways, please comment them down below. I would love to have your guys' input and know what it is that you would like to see. I think that this look turned out really nice, and I can't wait to do my next one for spooky season, guys. I will provide you with a close-up of the look itself. Like I said, I showed you guys a glam look at the beginning, so it doesn't have to even be like the clown kind of thing. And then I showed you this part, which you could use for Halloween. And this is just going with something a little bit more simple without going too much into it. But this turned out really nice, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I am going to start doing a shout out at the end of my videos. So the way that you can be entered into my shout out is to be subscribed to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and follow me on Twitter. And I will put the links for those in my description box below, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope that you like it, and have a great day, guys. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you in my next video.